Hello and welcome. Today I want to show you how compound interest works and why it is so important to start investing as early as possible. We will cover a few key concepts, including how different investment amounts affect outcomes, how the length of time impacts your result, how varying interest rates can change your final returns. So get ready, let's dive in. The power of time. First, let's look at how time affects your investment outcomes. In general, the earlier you start investing, the bigger the impact at the end. Let's say you start investing at a young age. Compare that with starting much later. For example, 15 years later. Here's a simple example. Both investors start with 5,000 euro. Both earn an 8% annual return. Both save monthly but with different time horizon. The early starter saves 400 euro per month for 30 years. You can see here in the graph at the end he's coming up with around 600,000 euro. Then the late starter starts 15 years later, saves also 400 euro for 15 years, ends up with around 150,000, so 4 times less than the early starter. Even if the late starter doubles the monthly savings to 800 euro, they still only reach around 270,000 euro, less than half of what the early starter accumulates. The total amount invested is the same for both, but time makes a huge difference. Now, here's one of my favorite comparisons. It really highlights the power of starting early with high savings, even if you reduce them later. So, let's start. Scenario 1. Early high savings with decreasing over time. So we again start with 5,000 euro and in the first 5 years we save 1,500 euro per month. After the 5 years we reduce it to 1,300, then another 5 years later to 1,000 and then again reducing to 500. From year 21, we are stop adding money in. So the total investment period is 25 years. And as you can see here, we have a final value of 1 million, which is quite impressive. Then we are coming to the second scenario, which is the upside down from what we just saw. So that means we start with 5,000 euro. But in the first 5 years we don't contribute any money. Then after 5 years we increasing it to 500 euro. Then again 5 years later to 1,000. Then it's the same till we reach in year 21 the 1,500 euro per month, and we keep this till year 25. And then you can see here we are coming to a final value of around 540,000 euro. So what is so interesting on this? You might ask. In both cases the total amount investing is the same. In both cases we invested 263,000 euro. But the first investor ends up with nearly double the final result. Why? Because he put more money in at the beginning and compound interest did the rest. So for you the key takeaways: start early. Even if you reduce your monthly contribution later, your early investments have more time to grow. Some years later your monthly contribution don't matter much. Time beats amount. Increase your savings later often can't make up for the lost time. Compounding is powerful. Even small differences can lead to huge difference in the end. And this took me some time to understand how it works. But at the end, it's simply math. Of course, these are simplified calculations based on historical average, like an 8% annual return from the stock market. Real life results may vary due to taxes, fees, or unexpected events like a market crash. But even in a worst case scenario, let's take the example from before. After 25 years, there's a big market crash and the market drops 50%. The early investor would still be left with 500,000 compared to 270,000 for the later investor. So even when things go wrong, starting early still wins and both have more money than they invested in. I hope this video helped you understanding the power of compound interest and why it is so important to begin investing early. If you found it helpful, like, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. In the next video, I will explain how you can realistically achieve returns of 8 to 10% per year, just like we discussed today. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Stay focused, stay consistent, and then you will reach the goal. Thanks for watching and see you next time.